Hola, te doy la bienvenida a Spring Spanish. Welcome to Spring Spanish. Mi nombre es Mariana, my name is Mariana, and I am one of the teachers at Spring Spanish. In this video, I will teach you el abecedario, the alphabet in Spanish. For starters, you should know that el abecedario, the Spanish alphabet, consists of 27 letras, 27 letters. That is one more letter in relation to the English alphabet, which has 26. So, today you'll learn where the difference lies, and te prometo, I promise, that at the end of this video podrás deletrear. You will be able to spell tu nombre, your name, and a bunch of other words using el abecedario. ¡Vamos! Empecemos con, let's start with las vocales, the vowels. One of the beauties of Spanish is that unlike other languages, its vowels are pronounced the same way, siempre, always. So, we've got la letra A, letter A. Para pronunciarla, to pronounce it, try to replicate the A in father. Try it. Father. A. Now say Mariana. Mariana. The prettiest name ever. So, unlike English, where the A is pronounced differently in words like bat or play, la letra A en español, letter A in Spanish, is always pronounced A. Remember my name to pronounce it correctly. Otherwise, you'll make me cry. Now, let's go over la letra E, letter E. To pronounce it correctly, think of the word elote. Elote. Corn. Now try elefante. Elefante. Elephant. Got it? Moving on to la letra I, letter I. This one sounds like letter E in English. So, ten cuidado. Be careful. If someone says I in Spanish, they're talking about la letra I and not about letter E. Now, to pronounce la letra I, think of the words iglesia. Iglesia. Church. Isla. Isla. Island. Next, la letra O, letter O. Unlike English, where the O is sort of rounded with the lips, the pronunciation of la letra O is shorter and sharper. O in English, O en español. Try it with these words. Oso, oso, bear. And last but not least, la letra U, letter U. In English, this vowel is pronounced as if there were an I in front of it. U. In Spanish, eso no pasa. That doesn't happen. U in English, U en español. Do you see the difference? Now, let's try these words. Tú. Tú. Informal U. Usted. Usted. Formal U. Now, hablando del rey de Roma, speaking of the devil. If you haven't done so, check out our video about the difference between tú and usted. You may also want to check out our video on the Spanish vowels to learn more about them. Let's move on and go over the consonants. Same as in English, after la letra A comes la letra B, letter B. To pronounce it, say bebé. Bebé. Baby. Next, la letra C, letter C. This one is tricky because it has two sounds, k and s. The best example to illustrate the difference is the word cicatriz. 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 Scar. In Spain, people pronounce the soft version of letter C as th. So, they'll say something like cicatriz. Now, there are words where the letter C is accompanied by the letter H. In those words, the resulting sound is ch, like the ch sound in the English word church. Try the word chonchito. Chonchito. It means chubby. So far, we know la letra A, la letra B, y la letra C. This is the key to abecedario. Let's move on to la letra D, letter D. To pronounce this letter like a native, try to push your tongue forward. D. Try saying dedo. Dedo. Finger. We've already learned the next letter, la letra E. Remember? If you've forgotten already, I suggest you rewind the video. Next comes la letra F, letter F. Its pronunciation doesn't change much in comparison to that of letter F. So, try these words. Feliz. Feliz. Happy. What comes next? You're totally right. La letra G, letter G. Similar to letter C, la letra G has two sounds, G and H. So, you'll find it in words like gato and gema. Gema. Gem. Now, to make a G sound before the vowels E and E, we need to cast a spell on the spelling of words. And this spell needs a combination of letter G, letter U, and either E or E. As a result, we get a smiley U, like in the words pingüino, or bilingüe. Bilingüe. Bilingual. If we skip the spell, these words will sound pinguino or bilingue, and we don't want that. Let's move on to la letra H, letter H, which is the easiest of them all because it's basically invisible. So, unlike English, where one says history, we say historia. Basically, we see the letter H and we ignore it. Then comes la letra I, letter I, which we've covered already. Next, we've got la letra J, letter J. This is the funniest letter because it's the one we use to write the sound of laughter. Ha ha ha. You'll also find it in words like Jamaica, jicama, jirafa. As you can see, our J is like the H in English. So, to pronounce la letra J, think of history or Hungary. Now, let's move on to la letra K, letter K. Most of the words spelled with this letter come from other languages like kilo from Latin and kiosko from Japanese. We don't use it as much because we already have the same sound in letter C, remember? Next, la letra L, letter L. This one doesn't change much, so the words león and lion not only refer to the same animal but are pronounced almost the same way. Fairly easy, right? There are words that are spelled with two L's. To pronounce this sound, think of putting an I in front of the word, like llamar, llamar, to call. You should know, however, that in Argentina and Uruguay, this sound is pronounced sh. So they'll say llamar and llegar. It's like they're shushing you all the time. Sorry, Argentina, no offense intended. We love your accent. Moving on to las letras M y N, letters M and N. They're very similar to those in English. So we've got mejor, better, and nada, nothing. Before we move on, we should go over a letter that exists only in the Spanish language, la letra ñ. This letter is basically an N with a magic hat. So, when the N puts on its hat and casts the spelling spell, it turns into ñ. And you'll find it in words like mañana, mañana, tomorrow. Interesting, right? Next, we've got letter O, but you know that one already. Just remember not to round your lips. Say O instead of O. The next one is fairly easy. La letra P, letter P, as in puente, puente, bridge. To pronounce this letter like a native, put your hand in front of your mouth and try not to put air like you do in English. P. Moving on to la letra Q, letter Q. This letter should always be accompanied by the letter U. So we've got queso, queso, cheese. Next, la letra R, letter R. This letter is somewhat hard because it has two sounds. The first sound resembles the R in butter. It's called a flap, and you'll find it in words like parar, parar, to stop. The second sound is called a trill. It's basically a double R, and you'll find it in words like perro, perro, dog. So, to do the soft version of the R, which is called ere, you should flap your tongue like you do in the word butter. But to do the harder version of the R, which is called R, you have to trill your tongue. Try both sounds. Pero, perro. Pero, perro. Awesome. Okay, we're almost done, and you'll be happy to know that the following letters are pronounced very similar to those in English. So, we've got la letra S, letter S. Try sangre, sangre, blood. Next, letter T, la letra T. This one you won't forget because it's the first letter in the name of the most delicious food in the entire world. Taco. Taco. Trust me when I say this is the most delicious food in the whole world. You should try it if you ever come to Mexico City. Moving on to la letra U, letter U, which we've covered already. The next letter has different names depending on where you are. V, B chica, or B corta, so short B. The reason is that Spanish speakers pronounce letter B and letter V the same way. Therefore, when we spell out the words, we make the distinction in the way we refer to the letter. So you may refer to letter B as B larga or B grande because it's taller than letter B, or you may say B de boca or use any other word that starts with a B. Then we've got la letra W, W, which appears only in words that come from other languages like Washington. Next, we've got la letra X, letter X. This letter has three different pronunciations in Mexico. It may sound like a J, as in Mexico. It may sound like an S, as in Xochimilco, a very nice sound south of Mexico City. And it may sound like an X, as in explicar, to explain. Fun fact, in Mexico, we say X to mean whatever. So if someone says something they think might have offended you, but it actually didn't, you may say X, no te preocupes. Whatever, don't you worry. Then we've got la Y, literally Greek I. This letter has two sounds. It may sound like la letra I or like the combination of two L's, remember? So you'll hear it in soy, which means I am, where the sound resembles that of letter I. And you'll hear it in soya, as in soy sauce, where the sound resembles that of the double L in llamar and llegar. And last but not least, la letra Z, letter Z. In most countries, it's pronounced like the soft version of letter C. But in Spain, this letter is pronounced th. So you might hear that the word shoe is pronounced zapato and zapato. Now, to make sure you really got it, let's go over the whole abecedario from the top. Ready? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. I hope you made it to the very end. Otherwise, remember to practice. And a way to do that is by spelling your name or the name of your country. Let's give it a try, shall we? My name is Mariana, and it's spelled M-A-R-I-A-N-A. Mariana. Now, why don't you pause the video and try to spell your name? I'll wait for you, don't worry. Awesome. Now, let's spell the name of some Spanish-speaking countries, shall we? Let's begin with Mexico. M-E-X-I-C-O. Muy bien. Now you know the alphabet in Spanish, so you're ready to spell everything. This will come in handy, especially when calling on the phone to order a pizza maybe. Pizza. Sorry. So, before I go to have some pizza, because se me antojó, I now have a craving for it, I'd like to remind you that we, the Spring Spanish teachers, have a whole series of Spanish beginner videos. Feel free to check them out on our channel. Now, if you're ready to take it a step further and get really serious about learning Spanish, we have a free Spanish training on our website where you'll discover the method we use in our Spring Spanish Academy to teach students to speak fluent Spanish. You also get some free sample Spanish lessons there that come straight from our academy. If you're interested, just click in the link in the description box to sign up. Hasta luego, until next time.